Hello, it's Victor here. I first of all would like to wish a peaceful new year to all of you. And I would like to discuss with you the investment plans I was working on for the 24 financial year. All your feedback is welcome in this merge request that I'm sharing with you here, or even outside of the merge request if you prefer that. But first, what is this all investment plan thing about? In products, we typically do an optional exercise close to the beginning of the start of the financial year. That is, the product managers come up with a plan for the following year, given our current investments in our stage, in our direction. And we make two variants of this based on what would happen if we would get a plus 10% investment or a minus 10% decrease in investment. Why we do this? We do this for many, many reasons. One is to have a discussion with you, the team itself, then to have a discussion with product leadership so that we can signal to them what to expect from us in all these cases, and to especially show the marginal effects of an investment in our stages. So what I did, I opened this merge request here. And if you scroll down in the MR, you can say comment. And as everything is here within Markdown files, GitLab already renders them for us. So let's start with reviewing the flat investment. Oh, before I continue, this talk might be more than 2 minutes. So feel free to stop and come back to it when you have a bit more time. I try to speak fast, but I sometimes will have to think about what I have to say. So feel free to speed up the video, and let's discuss the investment plan now. So what do I expect us to deliver? And all of this is made up by me, so definitely come back and share your perspective if you think something is totally unrealistic of what I'm sharing here. A bit of context, our team size, our current focus, where it has been, and the current hot topic of discussing of moving towards Flux or not. All the investment plans that I'm sharing here assume that we are going to move towards Flux. This is still not decided, but I had to make an assumption here to make my life easier in creating these plans. So in kind of team level topics, I would say that we have 3 big themes that we could tackle. One is to move the GitOps offering to viable. Actually, I think that we would be almost close to complete or even lovable, but we might not get there. That's why I wrote viable, but we are continuing the way towards complete. And together with GitOps, I might call this our Kubernetes offering as well. So it's not just GitOps, but that's what I wanted to emphasize here. The second theme is I want us to be able to remove the certificate-based integrations in 17.0. This means I think that we should ship the blocking issues by the middle of 2024 at around June. In that case, we can make the removal. If we just ship it like 3 months before 17.0, as our deprecation process typically requires, I would rather not remove that. And the third topic is to start shipping a solution on the deployment management direction. Actually, I updated during the holidays the deployment management direction as well. And I would like to emphasize 2 parts here. One is the deployment management project. This is what we were discussing a little bit here and there. And this is just our current best idea, as far as I understood, based on our discussions with Tiger especially. And that is the GitLab delivery framework. Actually, that's framework here, which doesn't exist even in discussions yet. It's mostly my idea how I try to think about all our offering and how it might build up, actually. You are welcome to comment on those as well. And I would love to invite you to do so. If I break down these 3 teams into kind of priorities, you can see what I mean here. By moving to viable maturity, I actually mean mostly the items that say viable here, that we would get those. as I said, everything here in this beautiful Gantt chart is just my guess, so they might be totally unrealistic. Please come back to me with your comments on that. And I guess actually we see it better once the investigations are finished. But basically this was the idea, and you can see like moving many things to everything needed for viable, writing docs around Flux. That will be the first MVC step, basically. Have a Kubernetes overview on the environments page, we know that. Support clusters that can see GitLab needed for removal of the certificate-based integration. Offer an alternative to GitLab managed clusters needed for the removal. And then we have the GitLab deployment project, Kubernetes dashboard, and some lovable feature set from around GitOps support, which is automatic access to manifest, containers, and Helm charts stored within GitLab. These are the priorities that I could come up with. Please come back with your ideas here. And then I made a rough breakdown on how I expect this to fit into the year. The axis show the month, and I think we should focus on these, and that's how we could deliver. And we do all of this in order to move our product metrics. There are many, many metrics that I think we could move. Some of these metrics don't even exist today yet, like the monthly active user of GitOps usage. I added as a development around Q2, and then we will see some metrics in Q3 and Q4. And the other metrics as well, like this might have an effect on environments page, monthly active user number, if we have the integration with the environments page. So I think that's a great cross-stage initiative. And for the metrics that we have, I tried to come up with guesses on how I expect them to move given these features, what I expect basically as the value of these features be for the company. As self-managed is typically lagging by 3 months behind SaaS, I separated the number of active agents on SaaS and self-managed, so we have a better understanding of the effect. And I tried to fix our CI/CD monthly active user numbers that we expect to drop a lot, given the fix that Hordra and Joao made in the metrics calculation. So I just take 1/7 of the current metric as the estimated value that might be the right one. And this is the flat investment plan. So this is what I expect us to work on without any additional or decreased investment. I added one more note here, which is this further considerations. This is primarily for the product leadership team. There is an investment case out there to start a new infrastructure as code team that would focus on Terraform, perhaps Crossplane, Ansible. There are many things written down in that investment case, and this is for their consideration. It shouldn't affect our work, I think, except if somebody wants to move into that newly formed team. So this is the flat plan. And what would happen if we would get additional or decreased investment? These are the other two files in this MR. I think the additional investment would mean that we could actually move our Kubernetes offering to Lovable, which would be just great. And we would be able to speed up the development of the GitLab delivery framework that I try to share my ideas about on the deployment direction page. And of course, it would have an effect on various metrics as well. Here, there is the reference metric in the second part of every cell, and the changes are in the first part. So in total, this would mean like, actually it's plus 10K. But yeah, there is not much yet. So it's, yeah, these are the Q4 changes that matters most there. And if you get an decreased investment, like I hope it won't happen, but like somebody leaves the team, in that case, the effect would be that we couldn't delay more the migration towards Flux if we want to go that direction. So we have to go with that anyway. Or if we don't go with that, we have to push hard on delivering the same viable feature set with our own solution. So that would remain our top priority. But we would slow down the deployment management direction, and it might jeopardize our plans to remove the certificate-based integration. So that's because that's our priority number 2, and I'm rather worried that we would be able to do that if the investment is decreased. So these are my thoughts about the coming financial year, and I would love to hear your feedback. Please comment in this merge request. The video will actually be shared here, and all of you are going to be pinged here. Thanks for your for doing this with me, for giving your feedback here. And as I already said, have a peaceful 2023.